Hi guys, if you watched one of my last videos, you will know that I've had my garage transformed into my studio. I wanted this room, as well as being my studio, a place where I compose and record my music, to be a room that is cool, inspires me, and a place where I can come to relax, and maybe read one of my movie books and have a coffee while I'm on a break from work. I kind of wanted the room to reflect that, so it's got some of my own personal things that I enjoy, like my movie books and my memorabilia cabinet. As you'll probably be able to tell, it's not been sort of acoustically treated to a mass degree. I do have some panels up. I probably will get a couple more panels, maybe one for the ceiling, but it sounds pretty good already, and again it's all about it being a room that I want to spend time in, so as well as a room that I compose in and work in. I hope you enjoy this little tour. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment below and I'll get back to you. And enjoy, and thanks for supporting my channel and watching my videos. Okay, so welcome to my studio. Starting in the back corner, I have my Candy Killer Predator framed picture. Predator is definitely one of my top 10 favourite movies of all time. You will notice a lot of the film items I have are either for nostalgia or related to my favourite films and TV growing up. I've got some acoustic panels on the back wall, as well as a cloth percussion artwork I bought from a market when I was in Africa. On the other side is another Candy Killer poster, this time Robocop. So moving on to some of my instruments, starting with the guitars. This is my Gibson 2015 Les Paul Classic, with a vintage sunburst body. This one comes with a G-Force automated tuners, a pair of 61 zebra coil humbuckers, plus a mini toggle to engage a built-in 15 dB boost. From when I started learning to play the guitar, the Gibson Les Paul was always one of my favourites, and I always wanted to own one. And behind that is my Gibson SG standard bass, which is the 120th anniversary edition with a heritage cherry body. I've always loved the shape of the Gibson SG guitars, and I could never decide which Gibson guitar shape I liked the best. So I decided to have the best of both worlds and get the Gibson Les Paul in guitar and the Gibson SG bass. The final guitar in my collection is a Westfield electroacoustic. I really wanted to fit a sofa in my studio, and I've always loved the Chesterfield style sofas. I think it looks classy and it's actually really comfortable. I also wanted to get a rug and a coffee table to put my movie books on. I'm a bit of a film geek, so I love to read how these amazing films have been made. Back to the Future, I've got Jaws under that one, and then a Ghostbusters. These are all in my top 10. Even though Godzilla isn't one of my favourites, I've always been a big monster fan, and the artwork and concept designs in these books are amazing. Next up is my movie memorabilia cabinet. A lot of these collectibles are either from my favourite movies and TV or are very nostalgic to me. Starting with the die-cast 1/18 scale DeLorean from Back to the Future. Then the Hot Wheels 1/18 scale Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters. And finally, Rhino from the TV cartoon Mask. I had this as a kid and probably played with it till it broke, but the nostalgic big kid in me wanted another one. Luckily, my brother got me one a few years back for my birthday, which was an amazing surprise. And moving down, I have a couple of hot toys. This one's John Matrix from Commando. I literally would have given my right arm for this as a kid. And the Hot Toys Robocop, which is absolutely incredible. At the front are the two Neca figures, Dutch from Predator and Rambo from First Blood. This next shelf is my nostalgic childhood TV favourites. I love Thundercats, so this Super7 Lion-O was a must. I also have a Panthro on the way. I also loved Masters of the Universe, so had to get the updated Battle Cat and He-Man. The Dolph Lundgren He-Man was a bit of a guilty pleasure. I know it wasn't a great film, but holds a lot of nostalgia for me. The next shelf down is the Hot Toys Ben Affleck, which behind the Keaton Batman is one of my favourite portrayals. I just had to have the Michael Keaton Batman too, which is an amazing sculpt. As a kid, I was obsessed with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and loved the 80s film and the look of the turtles. So when Neca announced they were releasing these, I just had to have them. By the way, I'm not sponsored or endorsed by any of these companies, but if anyone wants to send me free stuff, that would be amazing. So, moving down another level, these two are from another one of my top 10 favourite films, which is Conan the Barbarian. These two are kit bashers my brother made and painted up. He's super talented. Also, the Atlantean sword letter opener, which was a major find, and then the statue type figure of Conan. As a kid, I loved the WWF, so out of nostalgia, I started getting some of the classic wrestlers and my favourites, but unfortunately they sell for crazy money on eBay. And the bottom and final shelf, I have my Bruce Shark from Jaws, Neca Godzilla, which is amazingly detailed, and a collection of some of my favourite replica movie knives from Predator and Rambo. Back onto my instruments. Here are my Roland V drums with the TD9 brain. Drums was actually the first instrument I learnt to play at the age of 13. With these I have the AKG 702 headphones, for recording solo instruments or vocals, I use the SE Z5600A Mark II condenser tube microphone, and behind it an SE reflection filter. It's a beautiful sounding tube mic with 9 graded steps that go through omnidirectional, cardioid and a figure of 8. So moving on to my workstation, it's a pretty simple setup. I use a Native Instruments Complete Control S88 MIDI keyboard, which has amazing weighted keys for a realistic piano feel. I sit in an Aeron Herman Miller chair, which is extremely comfortable and is needed when sitting for hours in front of your desk. My sound card of choice is the RME Fireface 802, which provides 60 channels of audio, 30 inputs and 30 outputs, with 12 analog ins and outs, 4 XLR mic/instrument inputs, 2 headphone outputs, MIDI in and out, and uses total mix effects. It's more than I'll ever need in this studio, but it's a great sound card. Controlling the volume level is an RME remote control. For my monitors, I use a pair of Adam A7s. They give a very honest and detailed, unforgiving sound in my opinion. I do a lot of mixing on my headphones and I use the Beyer Dynamic DT880 Pro headphones. I can't recommend these enough. And no studio is complete without Himalayan salt lamps. This is all sat on my Music Commander studio desk, which is a really cool looking desk that I've had for quite a while and not felt really the need to change it. I work on a PC which is tucked away under my desk. Using Windows 10 Pro and Cubase 10 for my DAW. It has an Intel Core i7 3GHz processor with 64GB of RAM, 3 1TB SSD drives and 2 1TB spinners. Like I mentioned earlier, I may still install some more acoustic panels, possibly one on the ceiling maybe. But it does sound great as it is, and I'm having no issues working and mixing in here. I absolutely love this room. It turned out exactly as I had hoped it would. It definitely feels like my fortress of solitude, and I love working in this amazing space. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this tour of my studio, and if you have any questions or want to know more, please ask in the comments section and I will get back to you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.